I just want you guys really quickly to hear Warren Buffett and how he speaks and and ah.
I hope that he's contributed in a incredible way to Berkshire. So Charlie's
See
been out here for 60 plus years.
I see
right, your left, I have the
I see
vice chairman in charge of everything except insurance and investments, Greg Abel. Greg was born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta. Canadian, plays hockey, 8-year-old plays hockey. And he came
I see
to the United States sometime after he graduated from college in Canada. And he
I see
is in charge of a business which has well over
I see
150 billion in sales and employs more than 250,000, 275,000 people. And
I see it's been in less than a minute and already 8 times he said
does a much better job doing that than I was doing previously. And on my far left, you're right.
I see
Henry G was born and raised in India and graduated from college there. And I met a G on a Saturday in 1986, and I've been in the insurance business for sure, and I was kind of stumbling around in various ways. And G came to the office, and Saturday I was opening the mail, and I said, it's,
I see
about insurance. And he said, no. And I said, well, nobody's perfect, and let's talk about something. And by the end of the morning, I knew I had somebody that was going to build a great insurance business. And starting from that point, this improbable little company in Omaha became
I see they came
the largest property casualty company in the world in terms of net worth. It writes risks occasionally in a 24-hour. They simply couldn't take on themselves. They'd have to assemble other people. It would take them a long time to come to a decision. That was very important at various times in the past. It's not so important now. But he's built an incredible, the world's leading property casualty insurance company. So here we are.
I see they call him the richest man in the world. I mean, you call that the richest man in the world. I say and this and and that and it feels good. I say I say honestly, if you want to be the richest man in the world, then have no have no in your communication. You understand? Because that communication that you need is Jesus Christ. I just want you to understand that Jesus Christ never goes and and His communication. I mean, understand? I mean, they're calling him the richest man in the world. I mean, why? I mean, because of the stock market. I mean, how about Jesus Christ? I mean, how rich is Warren Buffett to Jesus Christ? I'll teach you who the richest man in the world is. I can say it's Jesus Christ. I mean, they're saying Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and Warren Buffett. I mean, look at Jesus Christ a bit. I just have another saying about Warren Buffett. It's 1 hour, 16 minutes and 15 seconds on the video. And let's see how many times he says within 2 minutes. So just show.
Common is that at
See
one
one.
time or another, for
See
some
two.
extended period, they lived with me in Omaha, Nebraska. And Charlie in 1934 moved about 100 yards away from where I now live and went through high school, eventually went into the service, and knows the neighborhood as well as I do. Went to the same grade school my kids went to and so on. Greg spent significant time living in Omaha, lived about 5 or 6 blocks from me, and now lives in Des Moines.
See 12.
Energy was in Omaha, about a mile away for a couple of years. So
See 13.
we started in very different places and sort of came together, and now go our separate ways, but it's all worked very well.
See 14. See 15.
I would, and you'll hear
See 16.
me. I urge you to send questions if you're thinking that you can direct them to me, or you can direct them to
See 16 times.
any one of the other three, and it will be a big relief to me if you direct a fair number to the other people. So,
See 17. See 18.
we, this morning, we always do it on Saturday, we published our 10Q, which gave the quarterly earn on our website, BerkshireHathaway.com. And
see
Very
19.
interesting. We put these out
I see 19.
on Saturday
I see
mornings.
20.
It's not because the media likes us to do it that way. It's not because the analysts like to do it that way. But we want to give you the maximum time to digest an awful lot of information.
I see 20 times within 2 minutes. I did show you the video at 1 hour, 16 minutes and 15 seconds. I see now you can see it's 1 hour and 18 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm doing better than that. See, 20 times he said in 2 minutes. I mean, do you understand? I mean, that's the world's richest man that they are saying. When they're saying he's the world's richest man. See, she blocked me on Facebook. And guess what's happening now? I mean, she coming to see me again. Because she blocked me. And she never want to see me in real life. But she always coming to my Instagram and YouTube. And she always want to see me online. I mean, she always want to see what Danny Milivojevic is doing. But she blocked me on Facebook. I have cheese and macaroni. But it's never cheese and macaroni, it's the macaroni, or it's the macaroni over here. I see the macaroni. I see the noodle. I see the noodle. I see the noodle. I see the rice. I see this is my laptop. I see the laptop. I said, this is the reaction to Danny Milivojevic going around the world and traveling and public speaking in front of crowds, charging people at the doors. What am I doing, man? I mean, what am I doing with my life, man? See, this is the woman having a conversation about Danny Milivojevic. See, oh my God, I mean, did you see his Instagram? I mean, oh my God, yeah. I mean, do you see his actual photos? I mean, he has over 16,000 photos. Oh, you understand that? I understand. See, although, I mean, how come your husband has only your husband only has 20 photos of himself? See, the macho man comes in and says, hey, I have photos. I have photo of me. I have photo. I see how you have under 20 photos of yourself on Instagram. I mean, how do you explain yourself? And Danny Milivojevic has over 16,000 photos of himself. And you have 20 photos of yourself on Instagram. I see Macho Man says, I mean, don't worry. Don't worry. I have some photos. I have photo.